remembering their roots.
Even when black students couldn't attend St. Charles High School, Franklin was still a part of the district.
The hidden history about to take center court in a special game.
We're tracking our next weather maker. Unfortunately, going to bring rain just in time for the weekend, but as that exits our area, the temperatures warm up. We're headed to near 70 degrees. I got your full forecast coming up.
Our top story, retracing a trail of crime and terror.
All I feel is a gun to my head.
Tonight, a woman shares her encounter with the suspected Starbucks shooter as neighbors react about the alleged killer who lived next door.
It's a shock to me, period.
Similar crimes, different drive-thrus. This is 5 on your side at 10. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. Tonight we are hearing from the woman who believes the same man who robbed her at Jack in the Box went on to kill a woman just days later at a nearby Starbucks. 5 on your side's Robert Townsend joins us live from the South City neighborhood where the crimes occurred. Robert.
Kelly and Mike, the frightening mom is reliving those terrifying moments when she and her daughter came face to face with an accused murderer. And tonight, as you indicated, we are now hearing from the suspect's neighbors. Mom says 1 minute she and her 10-year-old daughter were sitting in the drive-thru at this South St. Louis Jack in the Box last Friday.
I say about 1 or 2 minutes, 3 minutes tops.
When suddenly,
The gun is right here.
she says Keith Brown approached her car and pressed a gun to her head as she turned to her child in the passenger seat.
She was crying, like, oh my God, I never been through nothing like that. Me neither, I'm sorry. I apologized to her, kept holding her, hugging her.
Mom, still traumatized, asked us to not show her face or disclose her name.
I could see his face. He had a black hat, all black with the vest on. And I remember the gun, flat out.
Incredibly, she chased the suspect when she says he fired his gun in the air and took off.
He got my gun that was inside my purse, my cards.
Police say 2 days later, an armed Brown robbed this Northside Dollar General store. And Tuesday morning, they say Brown shot and killed 28-year-old Sam Linehan while the victim was in this Starbucks drive-thru across from the Jack in the Box.
I hate that happened to her. I just want to know why, anything. I mean, it's devastating to me.
Carmen Reed says for the past year, Keith Brown has lived across from her at this Northside apartment complex.
When I get out at 6:30 in the morning, I see him sitting on the rock out there, and he speaks to me. It's a shock to me, period. And I hurt for everybody.
Brown was released from prison in 2020 for burglary and other charges. Right now, it's unclear when he violated his parole.
It's not uncommon for offenders to reoffend once released. What is a little uncharacteristic about this case is the fact that the offender seems to have engaged in some pretty high-level crimes at an older age.
Brown now faces murder and other felonies.
Baby, I was dancing when I heard that. I'm very relieved.
St. Louis Police say if you know anything about these crimes, call Crime Stoppers or the St. Louis Police Department. And again, that Crime Stoppers number, you should see it at the bottom of your screen. Live in South City, I'm Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Tonight we are learning more about the figure skating coach who lost her life in that Starbucks drive-thru Tuesday morning. 28-year-old Sam Linehan coached with the Metro Edge Figure Skating Club. Sam started as a young skater with St. Louis Synergy and later returned as a coach, mentoring the next generation. Sam's longtime coach is heartbroken by the tragedy.
She just loved everything about skating, and she loved her students. And it's left a big hole in our family here.
The Figure Skating Club said they will focus on supporting Sam's family and making sure every skater has the care and resources they need.
Tonight, a convicted felon is charged in a shooting that's left a 17-year-old in critical condition. The gunfire broke out last night during a fight on a basketball court near Cherokee and Nebraska in South St. Louis. Police say James Jones picked up a handgun that fell to the ground and fired several shots. Jones is now charged with first-degree assault and armed criminal action. Turning now to your weather impact forecast, a calm, cool night in St. Louis. Meteorologist Lance Blocker is tracking one more nice day ahead of a Saturday soaker. Lance?
Yeah, Mike, well, we're excited to get some of this rain back into the region. Technically speaking, we're under a moderate to severe drought for parts of the area. So while the timing is not ideal, This will be very beneficial. The yellows here, that indicates areas that could see upwards of 3/4 of an inch to possibly 1.5 inches of rain. Most of the rest of the region here checking in with at least 1/4 of an inch of rain as well. But for tonight, things are nice and quiet across the region. Tomorrow morning, it'll be a little bit chilly to start out with temperatures in the mid-30s. We'll stay sunny though throughout the day. Combine that with that southerly breeze. That means we're warming into the low 60s tomorrow afternoon. But we do have that chance of rain. It's not only just a chance, it's a widespread chance of rain for us on Saturday. Then we're looking ahead to a very warm next week. I got the details on that coming up in about 10 minutes.
In about 36 hours from now, thousands of people will pack the streets of Soulard for Mardi Gras. And tonight, preparations are underway for the large crowds of revelers. A few reminders: no cans, coolers, bottles, or backpacks. And with no parking, organizers recommend taking a taxi, rideshare, Metrolink, or a shuttle. St. Louis Police will step up patrols with the help of St. Louis County Police and the Missouri Highway Patrol.
On Saturday, we'll have an entire city and dozens of neighborhoods to protect and 911 calls to respond to.
Also, don't bring your golf carts or your scooters. Neither of those will be allowed in the festival zone, and e-scooters will be remotely disabled in the festival zone.
The Bud Light Grand Parade steps off Saturday at 11 a.m. from just south of Busch Stadium. An estimated 17 million beads will be flying down Broadway as the parade heads south to the Anheuser-Busch Brewery. And for all you need to know about the Soulard Mardi Gras, text the word Marty to 314-425-5355. We'll send a link right to your phone.
A storied high school basketball rivalry takes on new meaning tomorrow night as two local teams set aside their school colors for a shared history.
5 on your side's Brent Solomon is learning more tonight about a first-of-its-kind tribute to the educators and students of the once segregated Franklin School in St.
Well, the Pirates and the Warriors, they usually trade baskets in navy and maroon, but tomorrow they'll both be wearing green. The school district decided to transform this annual February matchup into a permanent salute to a legacy that can't be forgotten. For decades, this building at 716 3rd Street was more than just brick and mortar. It was the only path to an education for black students in St. Charles. Under segregation, Franklin School served as the district's hub for black excellence.
It's been long overdue.
Thomas and Mary Stevenson are part of a dwindling number of living alumni. Their diplomas dated 1943 and 1947 now sit side by side.
I had to ride a bus from O'Fallon to Franklin School because I couldn't go in O'Fallon, so I rode the bus 12 miles from here.
For her husband, the trek was on foot.
We lived out in the south end of town, and we walked all the way down to Franklin. And on the way down, we had a lot of white friends that could walked with us, and they'd stop at one school. I'd keep walking on down to Franklin.
Friday night at St. Charles West, the rivalry between the Pirates and Warriors will turn green, the original color of the Franklin Bulldogs.
Tomorrow night, we are not St. Charles High School. We're not St. Charles West. Well, we will be by that scoreboard. But we are all Franklin tomorrow night.
For Principal Patricia Clausen, it's personal. Her grandfather played at Franklin. Her grandmother taught there.
When I think about the fact that, you know, I'm a direct descendant of two individuals who could have never attended St. Charles High School, it's like my ancestors' wildest dreams.
At 100 years old, Thomas is the last living member of the Franklin basketball team.
Don't look back, always look forward. Tomorrow's gone.
He's a wise man, I tell you. That sold-out game starts at 8 tomorrow night. And while the Franklin building currently sits vacant, alumni say they hope this new annual tradition is the first step toward eventually restoring the school that they called home from the first grade all the way to graduation.
St. Louis's toxic history.
It's a freak of nature.
Tonight, the World War II arms race.
I mean, they made the most powerful, potent uranium on the planet.
Turning into a race against the clock to clean up radioactive waste dumping grounds in our backyard.
Start making some noise about this issue to get it out of this region once and for all.
It'll be a wet and chilly start to the weekend, but better weather is ahead. I got your full forecast coming up next.
Data centers have been a hot topic, and a U.S. Senator from Missouri is taking them on. Recently, communities across the bi-state have seen proposals for new data centers in their areas. We've covered story after story, and today, Senator Josh Hawley introduced a bill that would guarantee these projects would not raise utility prices. He said that the average American family, should not shoulder the burden of the cost. We'll see what happens, and we'll keep you up to date.
After years of reporting about the radioactive waste in the St. Louis region, tonight we return to where it all began.
5 on your side's Justina Coronel sat down with passionate advocates forced to learn the history and now working to change the future.
The story begins here, downtown St. Louis, 1942.
Back in World War II, there was an arms race with the United States and Germany to obtain the world's first atomic weapon.
Helping develop the ultimate weapon was Arthur Holly Compton, renowned physicist and former Washington University chancellor. That's when he asked his friend, Edward Mallinckrodt, to purify uranium in large quantities for the atomic bomb at Mallinckrodt Chemical Works in St. Louis.
They were using a chemical called ether. They had what they thought were the building blocks to take this uranium and process it.
According to historians, at the time, the entire world's supply of refined uranium consisted of only a few ounces that could fit into a coffee cup. In order for the project to succeed, 40 tons of uranium oxide and 6 tons of uranium metal was needed. Yet Mallinckrodt was able to produce a ton of pure uranium daily.
I mean, they made the most powerful, potent uranium on the planet that had ever been seen. It's a freak of nature.
After it was produced, disposing it became another problem.
Once the buildings downtown became too contaminated and ran out of space, the federal government bought a tract of land out at the St. Louis airport, just north of the runways, where it sat pretty much out in the open from 1946 until 1966, when the federal government put that waste up for sale to the highest bidder.
Eventually, it was moved to Laddie Avenue. Since material wasn't stored properly, the waste contaminated areas nearby.
Especially with Coldwater Creek. That's a 14-mile long creek, and homes were built on and around it.
Portions were dumped in the quarry at Weldon Spring. Later, material was illegally dumped in the Westlake landfill in Bridgeton.
And as we sit here, not even 2 miles from where we're sitting, it's still sitting on the surface 53 years later.
Decades later, there's still a long road for cleanup. Advocates can't change the past. That's why they aim to fix the future.
Do you want this to continue? Because if you don't, and if you're done like we're done, then this year, 2026, needs to be the year that you jump in both feet and start making some noise about this issue to get it out of this region once and for all.
Justina Coronel, 5 on your side.
Cleanup is underway in parts of Coldwater Creek with a projected completion date of 2038. The Superfund site at the Westlake landfill still has not been cleaned up. Right now, there is a compensation program for radioactive waste victims. Advocates encourage anyone affected to apply. For information on how to file a claim, just text the word RECA, that's RECA, to 314-425-5355.
Meteorologist Lance Blocker's here with our weather impact forecast. Beautiful day today.
Yeah, can't complain, but there will be some rain in our forecast.
Yeah, one day, but we've got a beautiful week ahead as well. Let's go and check it out right now. Everything's nice and quiet across our region, but some changes do arrive as we look forward into not only this weekend, but also next week as well. Friday, be outside. Whatever you got to do to get outside, enjoy it. Make sure that happens. Saturday, not ideal. We got rain moving into the region, cooler with highs in the upper 40s. But the average high this time of year is 45 degrees, so we'll still eclipse that mark. Heading into next week, though, a big warm up ahead, feeling more like spring than February. Well, let's go ahead and key in on these 2 days here over the next 48 hours. As you head out the door tomorrow morning, you'll need the jacket, but you won't need it very long. Temperatures start out in the low 30s. We warm into the low 60s with a mostly sunny sky for us tomorrow. It's going to be a beautiful day. That in advance of our next weather maker, we'll track this from the desert southwest into our region with scattered showers likely early in the day on Saturday. Then that exits our area, pushes east, and we quiet down and warm up pretty quickly. Let's go hour by hour with that weather maker out to the west again. Here you go. It's still out of our area. This by 6 a.m. And you can see the scattered showers begin to move into the region. This is the latest high-resolution forecast model showing a little bit later. So if perhaps you're doing some power walking maybe in the early morning hours, you should be good to be able to do that. Those scattered showers move in from the west, more widespread rain across the region. This through 5 o'clock. Some of this rain could turn heavy at times. We could see again upwards of 1, maybe 1.5 inches of rain when it's all said and done. Here it is in detail. The forecast models are showing a band that kind of stretches west to east across the region that produces the heaviest rainfall to the north. That's in the yellow shaded areas here. Again, upwards of 1 inch to 1.5 inches in this region. You head further southeast, still beneficial rainfall as pretty much the entire area is under a moderate to severe drought. So we'll take it, even though, again, the timing is not ideal. But if you look ahead into next week, watch these temperatures. So cooler with rain conditions on Saturday, warmer with spring-like conditions by Sunday, and then on into next week. It is not only shorts weather, it is golf weather, it is be outside weather. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday with highs through the 60s and into the low 70s. We talked about this earlier. Average high this time of year is 45 degrees. So we are feeling good about being outside next week.
I don't want to push too far, but you said maybe after the 70-degree day, we're starting to get a little.
Yeah, it's going to go back to February, so just be ready. The jackets, don't put them all the way.
Really enjoy next week.
That's right,
All right.
exactly.
Lance, thanks. Frank is next with sports.
Mike, the Kachuk brothers were priceless today in their post-game interviews. Ali Marmol's excited, and a star quarterback is getting a 6th year to play college football. Stick around.
And here's what's coming up on Olympic Late Night. Right after 5 on your side at 10, speed skaters hit the ice for the women's 5,000-meter final. Plus, they'll race for gold in men's snowboard cross.
Spring training has begun for the Cardinals in Jupiter. Ivan Herrera will not compete for Panama in the World Baseball Classic as he recovers from his elbow surgery. And Lars Nootbaar will be late in arriving as he rehabs in California after his heel surgery. The Cardinals don't have the type of treadmill he needs for his workouts. Pitchers and catchers reported today youth is being served. They likely won't have a starting position player or a member of their starting staff who will be over the age of 28. Some managers may not like it, but the Cardinal manager sounds pumped up about his squad.
It's a young group, but the overall energy and the conversations that are taking place are, I'm more excited about this year than any year, to be quite honest. There's clear direction as to what we're trying to do. There's a lot of buy-in from the players.
Southeast Missouri State at SIUE tonight in a battle of two of the best teams in the conference. This Brian Baroni can really coach, and Jordan Pickett from Belleville can really shoot it. He had 15 points and shared scoring honors with this 7-footer, Arnie Sakenis, who throws it down. Cougars coast 74-56. They are 17-9. How about this story? Trinidad Chambliss has been granted a 6th year of eligibility for the 2026 season. Was it shocking? No. It was a Mississippi State court. They probably like Ole Miss to be good in football, so they are going to allow their star quarterback to play another season. Now, the NCAA has the option to appeal this decision. Here's the interesting thing. Chambliss will make much more money playing at Ole Miss than he would have as a fringe NFL player, because he's going to make about $3 to $4 million. They love him down there.
As a college
6 year
player.
of eligibility.
Yeah. And you guys wonder why I tried to make a comeback last week? Talent
were
was the only
almost
problem.
there.
Yes.
Thanks, Frank.
Well, happy birthday, St. Louis. The Big Bash you're all invited to.
Well, the Missouri History Museum is celebrating St. Louis this weekend. It's off of the city's 262nd birthday, which is Saturday.
And the museum has a whole weekend of festivities planned. This includes classic St. Louis backyard games like washers and cornhole, happy birthday sing-alongs with live bands and mascots. There will also be a market of local vendors and St. Louis trivia.
The Lenten season begins next week, and that means Fish Fry Fridays return 1 week from tomorrow. Rockwell Beer Company is hinting on social media its seasonal Fish Fry Light Lager will also be released next Friday. We put together an interactive Fish Fry Finder on KSDK.com to find the closest one to you or to add a fish fry to your map. Just text the word fish to 314-425-5355, and we'll send a link to your phone. And just to give you an idea how old St. Louis is,
Yes.
Mozart was 8 years old and touring Europe when St. Louis came into existence.
Well, nice little knowledge that you dropped there.
And there you have it, 5 on your side at 10. We're always streaming on your phone and smart TV.
Our historian, Mike Bush.
Yes.
Start your day with Today in St. Louis. That starts at 4:30 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.